The mirror in the basement. It was a stormy night in the small town of Ravenswood. Lucy, a college student, had just returned to her parents' house for the weekend. Her family owned a large, old Victorian home with creaky floors and dimly lit hallways. It had been in the family for generations, and its age showed. As the thunder rumbled outside, Lucy decided to explore the basement. She hadn't been down there since she was a kid, but she remembered her grandmother always telling her never to touch anything. Curiosity got the better of her, so she grabbed a flashlight and headed down the narrow staircase. The basement was cold and damp, with an unsettling silence that made her heart race. Dust-covered furniture, old trunks and boxes filled the room. As her flashlight scanned the area, she noticed something she had never seen before. An enormous, antique mirror leaning against the far wall. The mirror was ornate, with a gilded frame that was cracked and tarnished. The glass had a smoky, distorted quality, as if it were hiding secrets beneath its surface. Something about it made Lucy uneasy, but she felt an inexplicable pull toward it. As she stood in front of the mirror, her reflection seemed off. Her image moved in sync with her, but her expression didn't match the nervous smile she wore. Instead, her reflection stared back at her with wide, unblinking eyes. Lucy froze, her breath hitching in her throat. Suddenly, her reflection raised a hand and waved at her, but Lucy hadn't moved an inch. A chill ran down her spine as the reflection began to speak. Its voice was hollow and distorted, like it came from the depths of a cavern. "Help me," it whispered. Lucy stumbled backward, dropping her flashlight. The beam of light spun wildly across the room, illuminating shadows that seemed to stretch and crawl. She wanted to run, but her legs felt rooted to the spot. The reflection stepped out of the mirror. It moved like a marionette, its limbs jerking unnaturally. Its face was twisted into a grotesque grin that didn't belong to her. Lucy screamed and scrambled for the stairs, but the basement door slammed shut on its own. "Don't leave me," the creature hissed, its voice echoing unnaturally. Lucy clawed at the door, tears streaming down her face, but it wouldn't budge. Behind her, the sound of heavy, dragging footsteps grew closer. She turned just in time to see the creature lunge at her. In a desperate attempt to defend herself, she grabbed an old wooden chair and swung it at the creature. The chair shattered, but the impact seemed to do nothing. The creature let out a deafening screech and reached for her throat with long clawed fingers. Lucy felt a cold, suffocating grip on her neck as her vision began to blur. Just when she thought it was the end, the mirror began to hum and glow with an eerie light. The creature froze, its head snapping toward the mirror. It let out a guttural scream and was sucked back into the glass with a force that knocked Lucy off her feet. The basement door creaked open, and Lucy stumbled out, gasping for air. She ran to her parents and tried to explain what had happened, but they didn't believe her. When they went to check the basement, the mirror was gone. For weeks, Lucy couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Her reflection in every mirror seemed to linger just a second too long, and at night she heard faint whispers coming from her bedroom mirror.
"Let me out.